Howdy and welcome back. This is Matthew Pizgatti, still talking about the DRIP BUSD garden on the Animal Farm site. Now, as you may know, the Piggy Bank is undergoing a swap from version 1 of the Pig token to version 2, and that was just to fix some issues in the Piggy Bank that happened with the first launch. Everyone's being credited back their version 2 pigs as soon as they swap them out for pigs credit on this page. It'll take probably until next Tuesday or Wednesday before we get credited for the pigs with the version 2. But back to the drip garden, I'm seeing some positive action, which is exciting to see. And it just kind of, again, validates or vindicates what we had been saying this whole time, was that if we keep compounding, it really depends on that LP price, the DRIP BUSD token price. If that swings back up to where it was, like 39, 40 something, on that way up, you should see so once again, you should see your LP per day increasing, and you should also see your dollar amount per day increasing if you've been mainly compounding. And we can see that represented here. Where's my daily LP? Well, this chart hasn't updated just yet, but you see that I'm at 1.204. So 1.204 is right about here. 1.204, and I think just now when I compounded, it actually put me up to 1.205. So I've just dropped a bit since I haven't compounded again just yet. But you can see this upward mobility that has been tracking upward since at least about the 16th, maybe a little before that. And that's happening because, but this is what the really positive point is that we were seeing not much return on the downward trend because, as you know, DRIP had been falling for at least a month in price, in token price, until seems like we've kind of found a floor. We will see. I'm never one to say that until I've seen it for more than just a few days, but we definitely have some resistance. And so the really positive aspect is that even though we did have this increase, and that's awesome, and everyone should have seen their LP, their dollar amount at least go up, from where it was if they've been compounding pretty religiously, pretty faithfully, and not harvesting during the downtrend. So you should have seen your LP and your dollar amount go up. But what's really cool to me is that we've been continuing on just a horizontal because it kind of found some support around, where is it sitting on the DEX? It says 55. So it's hovering around 55. So this is a lot of horizontal movement on the token price and even on contract balance, pretty horizontal movement. There was a little bump, and then it's not been increasing a whole lot, but it did bump back up a little tiny smidgen, which is nice. That's something. And I think more people will be encouraged to, when they see these positive numbers, hop in and add more capital. This is our decay. It's about the same. It's kind of imperceptible, but I think I can see that it's a less of a slope here than the previous portion. I think it's evening out, slowing out a little bit. But remember, this should go down. This is by design, that this does slowly go down. That's supposed to happen. But the other factors that affect the rate of that is the contract balance and this price of the LP token. So the really positive thing to me is that even though we're seeing horizontal movement, like contract balance and the price is just kind of steady, as long as it just does that, as long as it's not going down. So it could stay steady, contract balance and the LP token, those could both stay kind of horizontal and steady, and we're still going to see an increase in our LP. Remember, the chart hasn't updated. I'm actually up around somewhere around here especially after my next compound, I'll be even higher. So that's really cool. And you can see, of course, the LP revenue and price. They had a bump upward what the dollar amount would be in plants, because as it's rising, it just outpaces that normal decay. So that's pretty sweet. I think when I first compounded, I was at around 32, and now I'm making about 18, 19 plants a day. And that's the thing. Now every 30 plants basically adds another plant per day. So you can see where this, for me personally, this kind of a personal update, that compounding really starts snowballing when you get into these numbers. This is my very rough estimate chart again, but really starts snowballing when you get into these higher numbers, because make 20 a day right here. We know that 30 out of that starts making an extra plant a day. Then I get to 21, and by this point, we're, let me see where it switches over. Yeah, somewhere around here, we start practically making almost one more plant a day every day at some point. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, yeah. And that's when it really starts rolling for you. It starts compounding a lot faster after that. You know, it only takes me another 30 days, and then I'm making almost 50 plants a day, which I compound more than once a day, so I would actually be over 50 plants a day by this point. This is just an rough estimation if I compounded once a day. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm seeing some upward trajectory again, which I really like to see. Remember, a lot of this right now depends on the drip price. If it starts falling again, we'll see some negative. But I'm going to keep compounding until I'm at least 50 a day, maybe 100 a day. And that at some point around there is when I'll start harvesting a couple days on the weekend. And then, harvesting on the weekend, compounding during the week, just to get my ROI back. And then I may let it go higher before I pull anything else out. You can see a lot of people kind of getting scared at this leveling off period today. You're seeing some more sells again that are outpacing the buys, so we'll see how that goes. You know, we had some pretty heavy buys to push us up to this point, but then I'm sure some people are getting a little worried, like, oh, is this the peak? Are we going to start dropping again? And so they're claiming some profits here. And remember, we still have those larger whale wallets in DRIP itself that in the faucet that should be kind of maxing out, hitting their claims, the end of their claims throughout this month. And here's hoping they do a lot of big buys and buy back in with a lot of those profits. And we can all kind of ride back up again off of that. A lot of them probably already have new wallets. They've started a while ago, so I don't know how much more we'll see recycled back in, especially anyone who got a little worried after this big dip. But zooming out to the full chart, that just seems to be kind of the cycle of DRIP that we've seen in the past. But this is a pretty good bounce, and maybe there's more to come, or like I've said in previous videos, maybe we'll drop back to those lower support levels again around 20 or so. But I would be really excited for that. I did buy in around, I don't know, 48.50 something. I brought my average, I dollar cost average down. Now my average is down on DRIP. I brought it down to about 65 per share. I'm saying share like a stock per DRIP, per token, which is pretty good. I'm around 65 average, and I have more in here. I bought some when it was like 50, so I should see this available amount, this 1% increase more every day, faster than it was previously. But enough about DRIP. This was supposed to be about the garden. I'm just seeing some positive news there. Of course, the price is linked to the price of DRIP, but it's good to see, it's reassuring to see that if contract balance is steady, if the LP price is pretty steady, compounding alone will continue to raise the LP price. That's pretty good. So good news for all, and I hope that continues. I hope we continue on a rise and we all end up where we want to be so that we can actually claim now and then and get our ROI back and our just make some actual profit at some point. Since we're doing all this diligent compounding, those of us who hold and ride this back up, ride DRIP back up to where we hope it goes back to its all-time highs, then we'll all be in a good place. I want to thank everyone for watching, and go ahead and like and subscribe if you appreciate the content. I appreciate that. Not financial advice, can't tell you what to do with your funds. No way, shape, or form is this meant to be that. But if you are thinking about getting into the garden, I do always have my links in the description. If you use those and then throw capital in, it does give me a little kick up of plants. Gives me some more seeds, that I can make into more plants, and just speeds up my compounding. It's a nice way of appreciation if you haven't already been getting started in the garden or on the animal farm. It's the same referral link. So, all right, you guys have a great one, and I will see you on the next video, which will be hopefully soon if we get more updates from the animal farm or I have any updates along that line. I think the pig credits are ready to be credited. It'll just be next week before we actually see version 2 being credited back after the swap. All right, everyone have a good one. Until next time.